You're being ignored. And the worst part, you don't even know why. You replay the conversation in your head. You think about what you said, how you said it, whether you were funny enough, interesting enough, present enough. And somewhere in that loop, you convince yourself it wasn't your fault. She just wasn't ready. She was damaged. She didn't appreciate you. No. I can tell you exactly why women lose interest in you. And the brutal truth is, you keep doing it. Over and over, in different situations, with different people, wearing different clothes and using different words. But the same pattern, the same invisible leak in the hull of every interaction, and you wonder why the ship keeps sinking. Today, I'm going to show you what you can't see about yourself. Stay with me, because this is going to be uncomfortable. And it should be. Let's start with the thing nobody wants to say out loud. Neediness is not just unattractive. Neediness is repellent on a biological level. I'm not saying that to wound you. I'm saying it because understanding the mechanics of it might actually change how you move through the world. When a man is needy, and I mean truly needy, at the core, he is constantly sending a signal, not with words, with everything else. The way he checks his phone to see if she replied, the way he laughs a little too hard at her jokes, the way his body language subtly shifts and opens and bends in her direction like a plant rotating toward the only light source in the room. Women pick up on this, not consciously, intuitively, evolutionarily. Something in them registers. This man needs my approval to feel okay about himself. And when a man's emotional state becomes dependent on a woman's reaction, the dynamic collapses. Because now she's not talking to someone, she's talking to a mirror that requires constant maintenance. Think about the last time you texted someone and then checked your phone every 4 minutes. Think about how that felt. That anxiety, that low hum of waiting, that energy doesn't stay inside you. It transmits. People feel it. And what they feel is, this person is not stable without me. That is not attractive. That is a burden. And here's the thing no one teaches men. Neediness doesn't come from weakness. It comes from a misunderstanding. The misunderstanding is this, that her approval means something about your value. It doesn't. Her approval is information, nothing more. But when you treat it like oxygen, you suffocate every interaction. Now let me talk about something that might sting a little more. You talk too much. I know you think talking more is engaging. I know you think elaborating shows intelligence, shows care, shows depth. You explain your jokes. You over-describe your plans. You fill silences because silences feel like danger, like something going wrong that you need to fix with words. Here's what's actually happening. Every time you over-explain, you reveal anxiety. Every time you fill a silence that didn't need filling, you tell the other person that you are uncomfortable with uncertainty, that you cannot sit in the unknown without flinching. And a man who cannot sit in the unknown without flinching is a man who cannot be trusted to hold his composure when life gets difficult. Women don't think this consciously. They just feel it. He's nervous. Something's off. This doesn't feel right. And they pull back, and you interpret the pulling back as rejection, and you talk more to compensate, and the spiral tightens. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in social dynamics, and almost no one uses it correctly. A man who can sit in silence comfortably, who doesn't rush to fill the space, who lets the conversation breathe, who doesn't need to prove himself in every sentence, that man communicates something profound without saying a word. He communicates that he is okay, that he doesn't need you to like him, to feel like himself. That is presence. That is frame. and it changes the entire texture of an interaction. There's a version of you in a conversation where she says something, and instead of immediately responding with a story about yourself or a joke or an explanation, you just look at her, calmly, slightly amused, and say nothing for 2 full seconds, and then speak. That 2-second gap rewires the entire dynamic. Try it once, and you'll understand what I mean. Let me give you a scenario, a real one. A man meets a woman at a social event. She's warm, engaging, laughing. He thinks, this is going well, and it is going well. But then something shifts subtly in her attention. She glances away, talks to someone else for a moment, and he panics, not visibly. And from that panic, he makes a move. He brings her a drink she didn't ask for. He finds a reason to touch her arm and make sure she's still focused on him. He re-enters the conversation with a better story, a louder punchline. He is managing her interest like a man managing a fire he's terrified will go out. She feels all of it. She doesn't know what exactly she's feeling, but the warmth from 5 minutes ago is gone. He's become someone who needs something from her, and now every interaction carries that weight. He goes home confused. He thought he was doing everything right. What he didn't understand is that attraction at its core is not about doing. It's about being. Who you are when nothing is at stake. How you carry yourself when you're not trying. The version of you that exists before the performance starts. The performance is what kills it every time. Let me talk about availability. This one is subtle and important. Being too available is not about playing games. I want to be clear about that. I'm not telling you to ghost people or manufacture fake distance for the sake of it. That's manipulation, and it's cheap. What I'm talking about is something deeper. When you have no life outside of someone's attention, when you rearrange your schedule, cancel your plans, respond within seconds at all hours, you are communicating that you have nothing more important happening. And subconsciously, that registers as low value, not because women are calculating, but because humans across every culture and every era are wired to want what appears to be in demand, a man with genuine passion, genuine purpose, genuine obligations. A man who sometimes can't respond right away because he's actually doing something. That man is inherently more interesting. Not because of the gap in response time, because of what the gap implies. He has a life. He has a world. And she's one compelling part of it, not the gravitational center around which everything else orbits. Build something, care about something, let that be real, not a performance. Because when your life is genuinely full, you stop chasing, and the dynamic changes completely. Now I want to talk about emotional control, or rather the lack of it, and this is where it gets sharp. Most men have never been taught how to manage their emotional state in social situations. They've been taught to suppress emotions, which is different. Suppression is not control. Suppression is a dam, and people can feel the dam. A man who is internally reactive, who gets destabilized by small rejections, who goes cold after a perceived slight, who swings between warmth and withdrawal depending on how the interaction is going, that man is unpredictable. And unpredictability in this context doesn't feel exciting. It feels exhausting. Emotional control is not about not feeling things. It's about not letting your feelings steer the ship in real time. It's the ability to feel something, disappointment, insecurity, frustration, and not immediately transmit it, to process it internally and respond from a centered place rather than react from an unsteady one. This is work, actual psychological work. And most men skip it because it's easier to blame external circumstances than to examine the internal landscape that's generating those circumstances. When you are emotionally steady, something remarkable happens. People around you relax. They feel safe. And from safety comes openness, and from openness comes real connection. The kind that doesn't require management or performance. There's a concept in social psychology around status signaling, and I want to frame it in a way that might shift something in how you see yourself. Status is not money. Status is not height or jaw structure or the car you drive. At its most fundamental level, status is how you relate to your own worth. It's the story you're telling about yourself through every micro-behavior. Do you hold eye contact or look away first? Do you speak at your own pace or rush to match someone else's rhythm? Do you express an opinion and hold it, or do you immediately start softening it when you feel pushback? Do you move through a space like you belong there, or like you're waiting for permission? None of these things require money. None of them require exceptional looks. They require something far more rare, the genuine belief that you are worth being around without having to constantly prove it. And this is the deepest layer of what I'm talking about. Because all the behaviors I've described, the neediness, the over-talking, the excessive availability, the emotional reactivity, they are all symptoms of one underlying belief. The belief that you are not enough as you are, and so you compensate. You work harder in conversations. You try to be more entertaining, more useful, more impressive. You engineer every interaction because you don't trust that the unengineered version of you would be sufficient. And women, people in general, can feel that distrust because it lives in everything you do. Here's a small but devastating example of what approval-seeking looks like in practice. A man shares an opinion. The woman he's talking to doesn't respond the way he hoped. Maybe she's neutral. Maybe she slightly disagrees. And instead of holding the opinion, instead of being comfortable with the disagreement, he immediately pivots. He qualifies, he says, "Well, I mean, it depends. I could be wrong. That's just my take." He folds, not because he changed his mind, because he couldn't tolerate her disapproval for more than 3 seconds. She noticed. She always notices. A man who holds his frame, who can be disagreed with, who can sit in the discomfort of someone not validating his perspective and remain calm and curious rather than defensive or retreating. That man is fascinating. Because he demonstrates that his sense of self does not depend on external agreement. He is not looking for her to confirm who he is. He already knows. That quality is rare, and rare things are valuable. The irony of all of this, and I want you to sit with this, is that everything I've described tonight is a form of trying too hard. And the harder you try to be attractive, the more you signal that you don't believe you already are. Real magnetism is not manufactured. It is what remains when the anxiety is gone, when the performance is dropped. When you stop trying to be interesting and start simply being interested, when you stop trying to win her approval and start genuinely enjoying the interaction regardless of outcome. Detachment from outcome doesn't mean you don't care. It means your well-being is not on the line in the outcome. It means you can be fully present in a conversation without the quiet desperation that poisons it. And the path to that detachment is not a technique. It is not a script. It is not a strategy you deploy on a Tuesday night. It is the result of building a life that actually satisfies you, of having standards that actually mean something, of knowing who you are in the silence when no one is watching, when no woman is nearby to validate or reject you. That man, the man who is complete in the silence, does not chase. He does not perform. He does not beg, subtly or overtly, for attention or approval. He simply exists with a kind of grounded certainty. And people gravitate toward that. They always have. They always will. This was never about women. Not really. It was about the signals you send without realizing. The invisible broadcasts from your behavior, your body language, your patterns of thought. The story you tell with your presence before you ever open your mouth. Women are not the problem. They are a mirror. And what you've been calling rejection is often just a reflection of anxiety, of absence, of a man who hasn't yet decided that he is worth knowing exactly as he is. That decision, when you make it and mean it, changes everything. Not overnight, not with a technique, but gradually at the level of who you actually are when no one is watching. Start there.